We are seeing today the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Now in short it is called as the VSEPR theory. This theory was proposed by the scientists Sidgwick and Powell. Now in this theory they try to predict the shape of the molecules. We know that the molecules have different shape, as that of the water molecule have V shape, that is the angular shape. Then the molecule methane has the tetrahedral shape. Ammonia have some distorted tetrahedral shape. And in last lecture we have seen already that the beryllium dichloride have the linear shape. Then how these shapes are there, that is the question in the mind of the scientist. So they try in this theory to predict the shapes of the molecules on the basis of the lone pairs of electrons present on the atoms in the Lewis structure or the bond pairs of electrons. Now see what are the rules of this theory. And one thing is there, they said that in this theory that though there is the repulsion between the lone pair electrons or lone pair bond pair electrons, because electrons have the similar charge, negative charge, so there must be repulsion between them. But still that lone pairs or bond pairs of electron, that is they arrange themselves in such a way that the repulsion is minimized. That means the repulsion is no more there for the stability of the molecules. They arrange themselves in such a way that there is minimum repulsion between them and the stability of the molecule is that remains as it is. So the molecules are stable. Now what are the rules of this VSEPR theory? Now the first rule is that the electron pair arrange themselves in such a way that the repulsion between them is minimum. That is the first one point. Though there are the electron pairs on the atoms in the molecules, but they arrange themselves in such a way that there is a very minimum repulsion, because if the repulsion is increases, energy of that molecule increases, and if the energy is increased, stability is decreased. We know that in chemistry, for the stability of the molecule, the energy must be minimum. Energy must be minimum, then and then that molecules are stable in the nature. So first rule is that though there are the lone pairs of electrons or bond pairs of electrons in that atoms, on that atoms in the molecules, but they arrange themselves in such a way that their repulsion must be minimized. That is the first rule of this VSEPR theory. Now second rule is what of this theory? The molecules always acquires minimum energy by arranging themselves in such a way that their repulsion of their electrons present on that atoms in that molecule always arrange itself in such a way that there is minimum energy, because minimum energy is directly proportional to the maximum stability, and therefore the second rule is that the molecules always acquires minimum energy and maximum stability. Now minimum energy is directly proportional to the maximum stability. If the energy is high of the molecule, then that molecules are not stable because their energy is high. So always remember that in chemistry minimum energy always have the maximum stability. So the molecule must have the minimum energy for their stabilization. Now this is the second rule of this VSEPR theory. Now VSEPR theory means valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, because the valence shell electrons are free for the bond formation, or they may be formed the lone pairs. So the name is given as the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, and there is always repulsion in the electrons. Now what is the third rule of this VSEPR theory? The lone pair of electrons on atoms also contributes the shape of the molecule. See here, the lone pairs, that is the lone pair of electrons on atoms always contributes the shape of the molecules. Now there is question, why the molecules have different shapes, how that shape comes. So Sidgwick and Powell predict that the shapes are due to the lone pair of electrons and bond pair of electrons and their repulsion between them. Now how it is said? They said that the repulsion of lone pair of electrons are always stronger than the repulsion of bond pair of electrons. For example, see in the water molecule. Now this is the water molecule OHH. Now this is the angular shape molecule or V-shaped molecule. In water molecule there are the 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Now oxygen have the atomic number 8. So the electronic configuration of oxygen is equal to 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. Now these 2s2 and 2p4 electrons are called as the valence electron, because they are the electrons present in the outermost shell or valence shell, and they take part in the bonding. Now these 6 electrons are on the oxygen atom are shown by these 2 lone pairs, that is the 4 electrons, and the 2 are taking part into the bond formation with that of the hydrogen atoms. Now this is bond, OH bond, into that 1 electron is come from this hydrogen and 1 electron comes from this oxygen. Again in the second OH bond, 1 electron comes from hydrogen and 1 electron comes from oxygen. So there are 2 OH bonds in the water molecules. Now these are 6 electrons. Out of that 6 electron, in the water molecule on oxygen, there are 2 lone pair on oxygen. Now they arrange themselves in the space in such a way that they acquire maximum space, but there is very strong repulsion between them, very strong repulsion. So they acquire the large space in the, that is around this water molecule, and they repel themselves in such a way that they acquire the maximum space. Again there is the lone pair bond pair repulsion is there, but this lone pair bond pair repulsion, this lone pair bond pair repulsion is a somewhat, that is the smaller than the lone pair repulsion. Lone pair repulsion is always larger than the lone pair bond pair repulsion. Now here between these 2 hydrogen atoms there is the bond pair repulsion, but that bond pair repulsion is again very smaller than this lone pair bond pair repulsion. That means the larger repulsion is between the lone pair, then the intermediate repulsion is between the lone pair, and the smaller repulsion between the bond pair. So why the shape of the water molecule is V shape? Because these lone pair of electron have the larger repulsion, and it pushes the hydrogen atoms as far away from them. So the hydrogen atom get pushed in this way, due to the repulsion of this lone pair of electron, and so the bond angle, which is the tetrahedral bond angle first, of 109 degree 28 minute, that is the tetrahedral bond angle, get decreases due to this lone pair repulsion and lone pair bond pair repulsion about 104 degree 28 minute. That means decreases the bond angle due to the effect of these lone pairs. And the shape of the water molecule, which must be originally tetrahedral, but that becomes V shape or angular shape. Now that is the reason. See the fourth rule of this VSPR theory. Repulsion of lone pair electrons are always stronger than the bond pair of electrons. The trends, fifth rule, that is the trends for repulsion of lone pair of electron is as follows. The lone pair repulsion is always greater than the lone pair bond pair repulsion, and lone pair bond pair repulsion is greater than bond pair repulsion. So this repulsion between these two bond pairs is very minimum, because that is very smaller repulsion of the bond pair. But the repulsion between these two lone pairs, these are the lone pair, this is first lone pair, this is second lone pair. Again there are two bonds pair, this is first bond pair, this is second bond pair of electrons. Now the repulsion of bond pair and lone pair of electron is intermediate, and the repulsion of bond pair is very small. In this way the trends are there. Now the lone pair, why the lone pair repulsion is maximum? What is the reason? Why it is maximum? Because these lone pair of electrons are under the influence of only one atom. Here see, in the water molecule, these lone pair of electrons are under the influence of only this one oxygen atom. But the bond pair of electrons are under the influence of two atoms. This oxygen, hydrogen, two atoms. That means these lone pair of electrons are under the influence of only one nucleus of this oxygen atom. Only one nucleus that is attracts them, but the attraction decreases because only one nucleus is there. But in bond pairs, there is the two nucleus of two different atoms, oxygen and hydrogen. This bond pair belongs to both of these atoms. So there is the influence of the attraction of that bond pair under the two different atoms nucleus. Again here this bond pair is under the influence of two different nucleus of the two different atoms. So the attraction is more for that bond pair by the nucleus, because two nucleus are there. So the repulsion between them is minimum. But the lone pair is under the influence of only one atom. Here is the oxygen atom's nucleus. So it have the maximum repulsion. Lone pair electrons have the maximum repulsion. What is the reason? The lone pair repulsion is maximum because it is under the influence of only one nucleus of one atom, and the bond pair repulsion is lower because the bond pairs are under the influence of two atoms. Now this is the VSEPR theory proposed by the Sidgwick and Powell. Now after that the another theory comes, that is the valence bond theory. It also tries to predict the shape of the molecules, but attempts are also very less to give the exact shape of the molecule. Why the methane molecule is tetrahedral, and that is given by then hybridization. So science is developed step by step. First, these two scientists in the VSEPR theory tries to say about the shape, then the valence bond theory, and lastly in hybridization that clearly that shows that why there is such bond angles and why there is such shape, angular shape, trigonal shape, tetrahedral shape, why the shape for that molecules. Now consider the another theory, that is the valence bond theory. see, this is very important theory for the point of view of the shape of the molecules. The name of this theory is valence bond theory. In short, it is called as the VBT, valence bond theory. Now see, which are the postulates of this theory. The first one postulate is that a covalent bond is formed when the half-filled valence orbital, half-filled means containing unpaired electrons, when the half-filled valence orbital of one atom containing unpaired electron overlap with the half-filled orbital of another atom which also containing unpair of electron. For example, see, formation of hydrogen molecule. Now for the formation of hydrogen molecule, two atoms of hydrogen are required. Now these are the two hydrogen atoms. Now this is the first hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom have the atomic number 1. So only one electron is present in the first shell of the hydrogen atom. Now the spin of the, we already see the spin quantum number. Now the spin of the electron is, that is the clockwise, having pointed arrow to upward direction, and another atom having the electron spins, that is the anti-clockwise, minus half. This is the plus half spin. Now when these such atoms having unpaired electron overlap with each other, their orbitals overlap. Overlap means, now this is the overlapping of the orbitals. When they overlaps with each other containing unpaired electron, then and then there is the formation of covalent bond, shared pair of electron. This is the shared pair of electron, and thus in hydrogen atom there is the one covalent bond. Sorry, in a hydrogen molecule, not atom, there is one covalent bond. This is the hydrogen molecule, and that covalent bond is due to the that is the sharing of the one electron by each hydrogen atom in the molecule of hydrogen, and their orbitals, valence orbital, overlap with each other and form the covalent bond. But the spin of that electron must be opposite, which gets overlap. Now see the second postulate of this theory. The electron in the half-filled orbitals overlap so that the opposite spins of electron get neutralized. If the spins of the electrons are opposite, then they get neutralized to each other, and when the neutralization of spins is there is the minimum energy. So due to the that is overlapping, the electrons get neutralized, and there must be then formation of the covalent bond between the two nuclei of the two different atoms. So the electrons in the half-filled orbital forming covalent bond must have the opposite spin, and they must neutralize that spins of each other, and then there is the stability increases of that molecule. So due to the overlapping of orbitals between the atoms, the electron density increases between the two nuclei of two different atoms, and their repulsion decreases and stability increases. Why? Because see here. Now this is the nucleus of one hydrogen atom, this is the nucleus of another hydrogen. When they comes to closer each other, the nucleus also come closer to each other. Now both nucleus have positive charge, so there must be repulsion between the nucleus. But why the repulsion decreases? Because in between these two nuclei there comes this electron density, and electrons have the negative charge. So there is the attraction between these electrons and this nucleus, these electrons and this nucleus. So the repulsion between the two nuclei decreases due to this pair of electrons, and therefore there is the maximum stability in this molecule. Now see the postulate 3. Due to the overlapping of orbitals between the atoms, the electron density increases between the two nuclei. So the repulsion between the two nuclei decreases and stability increases. That is very important postulate. Now next postulate. During overlapping of atomic orbitals, when the atomic orbital overlaps, what happened? The energy get released and stability increases. We know that for the stability of the molecule, their energy must be minimum. So when the orbitals overlaps with each other, the energy of the atoms get released and they form the molecule. And during release of the energy, the stability increases of that molecule. So this is also very important. During overlapping, the energy of the molecule gets released and stability increases. Now the fifth postulate is what? Greater the extent of overlap, that is the proportion. Extent means proportion. Greater the extent of overlap, stronger is the bond formed. What does that means? Now see this, here is the extent of overlap. Now if the extent of overlap is minimum, then the bond is not stronger as this bond. But if the extent of overlap is maximum, then the bond form is the stronger bond. But this extent is not very large as that of in this way, because due to such type of extent, large proportion of overlap, what happened? The nucleus comes to close each other due to large overlap, and there is repulsion between these two nuclei, and due to that energy increases and stability decreases. So there is somewhat, that is the rule for the extent of overlap. Extent of overlap must be maximum, but there is, that is limitation for the extent of overlap. See that greater is the extent of overlap, stronger is the bond formed, but the complete overlap is not possible due to the two nuclei, because these two nuclei comes to each other and there is the repulsion between them. माझे आहे ना 2 postulate बाकी जे पटेल सर, मग संपून जाईल माझा हा टॉपिक.
मॅडम बंद करू का?
See the 6th postulate. The atom possesses more than one unpaired electron, forms more covalent bonds. That means the number of unpaired electrons are equal to the number of covalent bond forms. How many covalent bonds are formed? It depends upon the unpaired electrons numbers. For example, in the, that is carbon monoxide molecules, there are the 3 unpaired electrons of this carbon overlap with the 3 unpaired electrons of this oxygen, and there is formation of 3 bonds between the carbon and oxygen. In this way, number of unpaired electrons is directly proportional to the number of covalent bond formed. Next postulate is the distance between the two nuclei is called as the internuclear distance, and that is the bond length. That means that is the distance between the two nuclei, which is the bond length of that covalent bond. The unpaired, that is the paired electron, already present that paired electron. Paired electron does not take part into the bond formation, and the shape of the molecules is due to the only p, d and f orbitals, because they are the directional orbitals. They are oriented in the space or in the x, y, z axis. But the s orbital is spherical. It do not have any direction. So s orbital do not determine the shape of the molecule. Only p, d and f orbitals determines the shape of the molecule. Now this is the valence bond theory.